What is up, RotoGrinders? Happy Friday. 2 hours of nonstop MLB DFS conversation starts right now, taking you all the way up to first pitch. Big boy slate, 12 gamer, not messing around. And typically, normally, what I would say, it's also a film Friday, but you know what? And Bobby doesn't even know this, but it's a big surprise to Bobby. It's actually, he didn't prepare for this, it's a Fleet Friday. What? Yeah, it's a Fleet Friday. Tell me what athlete I'm talking about. The given clues we drop in throughout the show, one every 10 minutes or so. We'll drop one in a second. Tell me what athlete I'm talking about. You get yourself a week free of RG Premium. Get that Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com/Discord, the live stream chat channel. Be the first person to tell me what athlete I am talking about. First time ever clue. I always go the reverse of this. I always tell y'all if somebody is retired. But clue number one, Bobby, is active. Active is clue number one. So there you go. This is an active. Well, you can interpret it however you want. I don't want to lead the witness, but active is clue number one for today's Fleet Friday. It's a Fleet Friday. Hit that like button if you guys are hanging out in chat. Do subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you know when we go live. You know when myself and Bobby Gomes go live on a Sunday morning, 9:30 in the morning, talking some football. 3.5 hours of nonstop NFL DFS starts on Sunday. I just saw what we all knew officially. Mac Jones will be starting for Brock Purdy. I have not circled back since my content on my shows for football, but I imagine he's going to be popular. 4K on TK, taking on New Orleans. I know we were talking him up. It just the news kind of sort of broke as we were preparing for that show, the Pick Six show. Check out the Pick Six show with myself, John Daigle, Rich Rebar. Check that out on the YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Bobby, happy Friday. How are things?
Things are going pretty well, Dean. You know, happy to see your face again here on a Friday. It's always nice to see you. Yeah, excited for Sunday morning at our 9:30 NFL show. NFL's the best. I'm totally thinking about NFL. We have to talk some MLB today, unfortunately, but you know, we're here. We're gonna get it done, and yeah. I see Broccoli Boy in chat. He's got a lot on his mind and has a lot of stuff to say. You know, I did just wake up, Broccoli Boy. Thank you. Yeah. So
from a nap, I presume, not from the entire. This is not your first
from
time.
A nap. From a nap. Yeah.
Okay.
I took a nap.
Yeah. I mean,
midday naps are a great way to break up the day, Broccoli Boy. Yeah.
How long was your nap?
About a good 2 hours.
Yeah. That's almost not a nap. At some point, you're just sleeping.
Hour and a half, Dean. Yeah, hour and a half.
Naps are totally underrated whenever you can sneak them in. And I imagine as a father, it's probably trickier and just more appealing when you actually make it happen. They definitely hit the spot. But you'll be wide awake Bobby Gomes. Crunch time coming in an hour and change. Oh, you mentioned Tim. Tim is the third man on that show on Sunday mornings, 9:30. So Tim was red hot in the DFS streets as well. You talk about you're excited to talk some football. Well, DFS, we care about today and today only. Unfortunately, no NFL today. But yeah, we'll be locked in for sure on the weekends. Yeah, again, clue number one, by the way, is scrolling. Get that Discord channel. It is active. Active is today's Fleet Friday. First clue, 12 gamer. Crunch time, again, it is you got the Prince and Potts show, beer and cheese, as well as chief meteorologist Kevin Roth. Coming out about an hour and change, 6:15, 6:20, give or take, on the East Coast. I'll drop Roth's weather report in chat, but once again, Roth really coasting this week. Really coasting. Nothing to sweat, as far as I can tell. Green in San Francisco, green for the Cubs. That game's already started, or not in our slates. Green, yellow in Minnesota, possibly a few showers early, but really, weather-wise, precipitation at least, really nothing to talk about. It's been cold in most places. I think that's kind of worth noting. We've seen that kind of sort of all week, it seems like. Just not a lot of amazing ballpark environments. That's the case once again tonight. Bobby, you got those boots in the ground. In Boston, Boston's going to be a little bit cooler than it typically seems to be in the 60s, what I'm seeing. Obviously, you have the one spot out there in Sacramento. That looks like the one appealing spot on the slate. Cincinnati taking on the Athletics. Both teams, the team total of 5 Otherwise, I think just one more team at San Diego, the team total above 5, taking on Tanner Gordon against of the Rockies, that bad bullpen. But yeah, just kind of bouncing around, looking at temperatures, the 70s, like 60s in Boston. The Marlins have a dome. The Mets, the 70s for the Mets in Texas. I believe this is the first time Jacob deGrom has ever thrown baseballs against the Mets, his former team. This is a first blood revenge game. Somebody correct me on that. I believe that's true, though. I guess.
How are you going to put that in your projection, Dean?
You got to bump up at least 30%, right?
Okay. Just want to make sure.
The Rangers, as an homage, just might not score any runs for Jacob deGrom because, memorably, deGrom would always lose like 1-0, or just get those, he wouldn't get a win or a loss, just no decision. But yeah, it's cool in a lot of places. Atlanta is in the 80s. I guess that's one, but typically, many times it's in the 90s. San Diego, high 60s. That's sort of typical, but not a lot of amazing spots. Some really good pitching, of course. Tarek Skubal in the controlled environment down here in Miami, taking on the Marlins. He looks spectacular. He's just super expensive, but I think you can make it work if you want to make it work. We have Yamamoto. Luis Castillo is in a fabulous matchup against the Angels. Do we have an Angels lineup just yet? I don't think we do, but projected we have 8 Angels. That includes Joe Adell, who I want to say it's been 3 days in a row now, maybe 4 days in a row now, where he's been in the lineup and then out of the lineup. He's been playing hokey pokey with the lineup for sure. Scratched, he's in, and then he scratched, and I think it's a vertigo. I'm not sure if the manager's not communicating with Adell. I don't know, and like at some point he has to chase him down and say, "Oh, can you go today?" But they're just playing Groundhog Day there with Adell, putting him in the lineup, then kicking him out. But we're looking at 8 righties, Bobby. 8 righties for Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo's got massive splits. Really, really good against righties, vulnerable against lefties. And the only lefty we're projecting right now is Rengifo. Speaking of players that have been injured and we expected to play, Ketel Marte was just scratched. He was in. Was he in? Yeah, I think he was in the original Arizona lineup. He's no longer in it. Ketel Marte. He had I think it was a leg injury, I want to say. I don't think it was too severe, but yeah, he's not playing baseball for the D-backs. So with Perdomo, Vargas, Carroll, Moreno, Blaze, McCarthy, Lawler, Thomas, and Tawa. That is a terrible Arizona lineup taking on Pablo Lopez. I'm curious to get how you're seeing the overview. I think it's an interesting conversation as far as pitchers. And for me, it's pretty clear who's in my pool, who's not in my pool. But you can go way up or you can go way down as far as pitchers. You can go way up to Skubal, Yamamoto. You can get DeGrom if you want DeGrom. And Sandy Alcantara has shown some signs of life, proof of life out of Sandy Alcantara of late. I think he scuffled his last time out, but the previous 3 or 4, it's been old. It's been old school Sandy, and his price is just still reflective of his season-long woes. So I think he's in the pool as a potential cheapie if you needed some salary to open up. But how does Bobby Combs? People want to know. What is your screenshot? What is your 10,000-foot view of tonight's slate?
Yeah, pitching for me, pretty loaded. Skubal at the top, I think, makes the most sense. I don't mind paying the $12K. I know Yamamoto is someone people can consider as well. But I think I'm going to lean Skubal. And then with the righties, like you kind of hit on, I think we might get 2 lefties for Luis Castillo. Maybe throw Moncada in there as a switch. So I think we might see Moncada in that lineup. But still, it's enough righties to where Castillo's probably my SP2. From there, I'm going to go Yamamoto. Just think the win equity's there. It's the Dodgers. Definitely like Yamamoto a good bit. Good ballpark as well. So I think being in San Fran is a plus to Yamamoto for sure. And then I'm gonna look to JT Ginn for the A's. I like the A's order. I think you can correlate the A's with JT Ginn on a lot of teams. So definitely fine there. Versus the Reds. I know it's that ballpark can get a little dicey, but I'm fine with Ginn. I like the price tag. So yeah, Again, would probably be the guy, my fourth guy in. Like 5.7K. I think he has win equity. He's definitely fine for me. Brandon Pfaadt, I know he's probably not going to be the highest owned pitcher, but I don't mind getting into him. You're removing Marte from that order, which could hurt him a little bit, but he's probably the fifth option for me for talking about everything in terms of pitching. And then the bats. I don't really think it's the greatest night for bats.
I don't either.
The Yankees versus Giolito, I really like. Padres versus Tanner Gordon. I guess you could make him a case to like play bats versus Pfaadt with the Twins, or play some Reds versus JT Ginn. I like the Athletics versus Singer. Milwaukee's fine versus Palante. Issue with that is Palante's he's a very ground ball heavy pitcher. But yeah, those are the main offenses for me.
Yeah, Palante, one of the biggest ground ball guys in the entire league. As far as players that we kind of expected to play that are not playing, I know Pena's not playing for Houston, and Yiner is not playing for Houston as well, so their lineup is a little bit different. Just wanted to note that. Still waiting for a bunch. There's a lot of late games, right? We have San Fran, the Dodgers. They don't start for 5 hours or so no lineups there just yet. The Angels in Seattle, another West Coast game. Cincinnati and the Athletics. You mentioned Ginn. We'll talk about that in a second. Gordon and Sears against each other. Colorado and San Diego. After Arizona, Minnesota, there's an hour and a half break, and we have 4 more games on layaway. So, yeah, it's kind of a doubleheader in a sense, right? 8 games fairly early. 4 games late, starting with the 7:07 start, the Toronto start, the Canadian start. 7:07 Bassett versus Trevor Rogers. But there's a lot of totals that are pretty low. The Boston Yankee game, I wish this weather was so much. You have to step outside. You got boots in the ground today, Bobby? Did you go outside today, or a balcony?
I went outside. It was nice. Was it raining? It's currently raining.
I don't think it's raining, but when
it was a little chilly. It was definitely a little chilly.
That's what I'm saying, is that Weather Edge just is telling us the wind's blowing in a little bit. Let me give it a refresh, see if it's changed. I think every hour it's updated if there's updates necessary. But yeah, 143 game sample, 64 is the temp. The wind's blowing in from center, right center. In that scenario, a big sample size, a downgrade in runs at over 7%, a downgrade in homers at 19%. And if you read my expert survey stuff today, there's a team in this game that I want to load up on, because there is a certifiable regression monster candidate that I really, really want to pick on, who's been getting away with, it's a small sample size, but really been getting away with it this season. Talk about that soon enough when we talk about the stacks, if nothing else. How much are you prioritizing Skubal? What does Skubal need to justify the roster spot? He's 12K on DK. If he gives you 20 points, didn't kill you, but that's not what you want. Like, a 20 is not terrible, but you want to do better than that. Certainly he has the ability to drop a 35, a 30 plus. We'll take a 30 plus. In Miami, their best hitter is basically shut down for the season. That would be he's left on left anyway, so no Stowers either way. But yeah, Stowers is out essentially for the season. The projected lineup here is pretty weak. It's the projected lineup, the official lineup. That is the official lineup. Yeah, it's not good either way. Just one lefty in Marcy, but Skubal, Cy Young winner. I don't know if is there still odds out there on him winning the Cy Young? I mean, if it is, you got to lay a lot of money. I can't see a scenario where he does not win the Cy Young this season. 32.5% as far as strikeouts. I think he's at the biggest K rate. I know he's at the biggest K rate on this slate. I think it's the lowest walk rate as well, which is just an incredible combination. Lowest walk rate. I'm not counting Jaden Murray, who's thrown like 2 innings. It doesn't matter. Who may pitch a couple innings for Houston today. 4.2% as far as the walks. I think he's at the lowest Sierra as well. One of the lowest Sierras in baseball, 2.57. It's a matter of, like, the matchup is good. It's just a matter of, like, how it reflects in the rest of your lineup, how much that salary hits. Because, Bobby, you know this. The people know this. We live in the world of salary cap. So how much are we going out of our way? Because there are a fair bit of steps to get up, to get at the school ball. They're like, yeah, he's good. He's fine. I'm good with this person. Where I don't feel like I have to have it. And typically I feel like I don't want to say have to, but I try my best. And I'm still going to try, but I'm not sure if I'm like 100% prioritizing school ball. That's sort of my take. It's just what kind of money do I have left? How much are you prioritizing school ball today?
I think I'm only playing one team, but if I was playing 150, it'd probably be around 50% of my lineups, even with the 2K increase. Just like the matchup versus the Marlins, obviously the pivot's Yamamoto for 2K less in San Fran, which I think the majority of the field's going to go to and play. So I just don't mind paying the extra 2K and getting Skubal. What's he over 32 fantasy points in 2 of his last 4 games? I'm gonna take my chances with Skubal.
I definitely want to. Yeah. I mean, if you do the game log thing, 29, 24, 32, 32, last 4 games. It's just absolutely rock solid. I know he got roughed up a little bit against Minnesota, and the Angels got to him a little bit as well. He had a kind of a rough patch there, but we talk about floors. You really can't say anybody has a great floor. It's relative, right? But his floor feels amazing. Now, if he puts up that 20, if I told you he gives you 20, no more, no less, you don't want that. It's not bad necessarily, but that's not what you're shooting for when you're rostering a Skubal. Okay, so Yamamoto, where is he? It's hard to get them both in the same lineup. We're talking on DK.
Yeah, you're not getting them both in the same lineup. For me, you can. I don't think it's really worth it. Yamamoto at San Fran. I think I prioritize Castillo ahead of Yamamoto at 7.5K because the majority of my lineups are going to be with Skubal. So I'd just rather go down there. So Castillo would be second, 7.5K. I would say he's getting about 7 righties at least. You went over his numbers versus righties at the top of the show. I just think it's a good spot for Castillo. Yamamoto would come in third. It's also a fantastic spot for him. He's in San Fran, pitcher's ballpark. The 2K less discount on from Skubal makes a lot of sense, and that's why I think a lot of people will make the pivot. He would be my third. Then, like I said, I'd probably go JT Ginn with the Athletics. I know the Reds have a high team total. It's just mainly his price is 5.7K, and I think you can get the win there. So I don't mind Ginn. I know people will spend up to Alcantara at 6K. He's been a lot better lately. I don't hate Alcantara. He'd definitely make my pool. He'd probably be the 5th or 6th in. People probably have him higher around the majority of the industry. But that's kind of where I'm getting him. I like PFOT versus the Twins. I also like Twins bats, so you can kind of hedge both sides of that if you'd like. And those are like my 6 main pitchers that I'm including. Do you have anyone else you want to throw in there?
Tell me about the Fought. Why are you in on Fought?
I just think it's a good leverage play. I think people are going to jump to Twins bats a little bit. So, yeah, that's mainly my interest in PFOT.
I didn't really consider him, but, I don't make a lot of lineups. It's kind of like spending all the way up or spending down. But the DeGrom thing, I'm kind of waiting for them to push down his pitches. Maybe they let him go here against the Mets to some degree, but we did see last time he only threw 84 pitches. He was very good, and I'm not sure the context of that. I don't recall. It's just 5 innings, 5 Ks, 2 hits, no walks. I don't think it couldn't have been a rain thing. It was at Toronto. But, Texas is out of it. They're done. We're in the last few weeks. DeGrom, I think, is 37, right? And they're on the hook for another year at DeGrom next year. So it would behoove them, I think, to not push him too hard. And maybe even shut him down a week early this season. I don't know. But maybe they let him go a little bit here against New York. I'm just kind of saying that, just kind of throwing that out there. I haven't heard anything, but doesn't that make sense at some point? Maybe it's not today. Just kind of put it in your back pocket going forward. this might be the last time I would consider playing him. And of course, the matchup against the Mets is not necessarily ideal, but it is. You gotta factor in you gotta hit the revenge button, which is I don't know how that matters. Probably not at all. Not sure. Hoskins not in the Milwaukee lineup. If you're anticipating him, Jake Bauers. Correct. The Brewers lineup today. Just got to run down the Castillo thing, which I think is really important. Before we do that, I do want to mention the ownership stuff also. And I did want to see what we have in Discord. Nobody binked it, I don't think, as far as today's Fleet Friday. It is not Mike Trout. Mike Trout, by the way, hit homer number 399 last night. Shout out to him. First homer in like 120 at-bats. Possibly the longest drought of his career. I'm just going to throw that out there. I feel it probably was. Going for 400 tonight. It is not Shohei Ohtani or LeBron James or Bradley Beal or DeGrom, Aaron Rodgers, Verlander, Carson Wentz. Is Carson Wentz still active? I guess he's somewhere, right? It's not Kyler Murray. Okay, so some names being thrown out there. We'll drop the second clue for the people. Second clue is key. Key is the second clue. Keep firing away in that Discord. Get yourself some free premium. So, Bobby, ownership stuff. This is what we have right now on DK. It's kind of a 1 and 1A, and then it gets flat after that. But Castillo, Skubal seems like the cash game. You're playing cash games. We're both looking at about like 33% for Castillo and Skubal. You said you'd be over if you're running 150 on Skubal. Everybody else here, like in the teens, Yamamoto at 15%. I'm surprised to see Chris Bassett. I'm not saying you can't play Bassett, but he's at 13%. Jonah Tong is pretty interesting here against Texas at 12%. The rookie, DeGrom at 12, Sandy at 12, Ginn at 11. So like, there's a big group of guys that are pretty similar. And I'll go ahead and run it down on FanDuel as well. And FanDuel's similar because I think it was 50% of the ownership we have projected is 2 players, 2 out of 24. It's not terribly surprising. Spend up to Skubal at 24% or spend down to Castillo at 23%. Well, it's not 50%, but close enough. Basically half the field will be on either Skubal or Castillo. Everybody else we have projected in single digits. The Castillo thing, we talk about the splits. We're expecting 8 righties. It might be 7, like you said. It wouldn't surprise me with 7. This is just kind of where we're at as far as projected stuff. And Castillo, the splits really, really matter. They're dramatic. Against lefties this year, 372 WOBA is bad, 203 ISO is bad, 17.8% K rate. That's bad too. And the walk rate is 9.2%, which is fringy. However, righties, 137 ISO, good. 236 WOBA, good. 3.6% walk rate, awesome. 24.8% K rate, very good. And the ballpark, the Angels strike out the second most in all of baseball, the active roster against righties, right behind Colorado. I have not played Castillo a lot this year. Certainly has been a kind of a misstep. He's sort of falling back, wrong side of 30, that kind of thing. But this does feel like an incredible spot. And yes, the Angels do have some power. They might be able to sneak one over the fence, maybe 2. Hopefully not. But if they do, hopefully they're solo jobs. But I also agree that I think they're well positioned to get the win. We've seen, and this is just recent stuff, but Kikuchi's kind of lost it of late. Did we just see Seattle's lineup drop? I think we did. Yeah, so no Josh Naylor. No left-on-left Naylor. It's Luke Raleigh in for Seattle. All right, second clue is dropped. Let's see if we have any more guesses coming in as far as the Discord. Somebody guessed Tyrann Mathieu. I think he is retired. Pretty sure the Honey Badger officially retired in the offseason. Shout out to him. It's not Drew Lock or Tyreek Hill or Steph Curry. Tyreek Hill might retire too very quickly. We'll see. Maybe big game this weekend. All right, Bobby. Anybody else we should mention as far as pitchers? I threw out a name, and I'm not sure if you mentioned them. I know Chat was asking about him, and it's hard to get a read. But Jonah Tong, you have a Jonah Tong take.
Yeah, 7.9K for Tong versus the Rangers. This Rangers lineup isn't the greatest, right? You're removing Corey Seager. Dallas Garcia isn't in there. I think Tong's fine. He's a prospect for the Mets, correct? Like I don't mind Tong versus the Rangers. He is 7.9K. I guess he's a pivot if you want to go from Luis Castillo, go up to Tong 400. I don't. That's fine.
Ruthless Villain is saying that the Honey Badger and Overzet are homies now. I didn't know. Were they on the? I know Overzet did a show for, God, was it Amazon or Yahoo? I didn't get a chance to watch it. Are you aware? You know what I'm talking about?
It was YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Did you watch it by chance? Did you catch any of it?
I saw clips of it, and it was Overzet, Tyrann Mathieu, Brandon Marshall, and Derek Carr, I believe.
Oh, I thought he was with Cam Newton for some reason. Did I make that up?
Cam Newton was on that, but he was on the sidelines with Kay Adams, I believe, for halftime. But Overzet did the pre-show with those
I guess
guys.
Overzet was in the wrong seat. He could have been in Cam Newton's seat next to Kay Adams.
Bobby, you have a third child on layaway. Come on. What are we doing? Control yourself over there. The chat's telling me that apparently that Castillo has given up BVP against the Angels. I mean,
I saw that too.
Luis Rengifo's got 3 homers and 22 at bats. Joe Adell has 2 and 7 at bats. Are we even going to see Joe Adell? They might say he's in the lineup, but is he really? Is he really in the lineup? I don't know. I still trust his track record versus lefties long term, and just the lack of lefties. I have not played a lot of Castillo this year, but I kind of trust it. I kind of trust I trust him today. Which famous last words, I suppose. You got anything else as far as pitchers that we should mention, or shall we scoot along and talk about
Gil was mentioned, and I know the weather's great for pitching. According to RotoGrinders, my issue is the Red Sox don't strike out enough, especially this iteration of the Red Sox lineup. So,
okay, so I did a whole deep dive into Luis Gil, starting pitcher for the Yankees. So, Bobby, on the season, he's got a 3.31 ERA. Cool, good for him. He's got a walk rate of 14.9%, which is just inexplicable. That's unacceptable. He's got a K rate of 19.5%, which is well down from his career strikeout rate. Strikeout rate was typically like 27, 26, 25. It's at 19.5%. He has a 4% homer to fly ball rate. Super, super lucky. He has again, 3.31 ERA, Bobby. Yeah, that's great. 5.68 slate high Sierra. I don't know if it's happening tonight. I don't know. But I think you can tell where I'm going. I'm attacking him. I'm attacking Luis Gil. I like your Boston Red Sox.
I'm going to continue to call him Gil, by the way, just because
you're going to double down on being wrong.
Double down on Gil. It's spelled Gil. I'm sorry. Chad seems to not like Gil. I honestly don't care. P-Fot. I'll call him P-Fot. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like P-Fot, you're just doing a thing, but I don't know. But I know Cheese calls him that as well. But I'm attacking Luis Gil on a slate where I don't necessarily love a lot of offenses, and that's why I was pretty locked in on the Boston weather, because I'm really trying to make Boston is my fetch tonight. I'm really trying to make Boston happen, and I'm going to be the only person with a Boston stack in single entry tonight, I think. Which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be the only person with. I mean, there might be somebody else, I don't know, but typically the single entry contests that I play in, people don't like to be too ambitious. They're not in the Family Feud board of stacks tonight.
You don't have to roster Anthony and Marcelo, because word on the street was they're out late last night, I would say.
Well, he's like done for the season, so let him do whatever he wants.
Isn't Anthony coming? Marcelo's done for the season. Anthony's, I think, possibly coming back for the playoffs. Correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a chance of the playoffs, yeah. But like for the regular season, I think they're both basically done. What did they visit your restaurant? Did you have the inside scoop?
No, they were at a bar. My brother was at the bar. They're just telling me.
They're enjoying it. They're like 22, 23 years old. And they have the world is their oyster. Yeah. They're having a good time. But yeah, they're not in the lineup today, and what I was trying to think of, Jordan famously played, 36 rounds of golf and then went and played the NBA finals. Dennis Rodman had that all-night binger in Vegas in the middle of the NBA finals, and came back and rebounded a bunch of basketballs. David Wells historically, he threw he was at SNL all night. He was on SNL and he was there. SNL famously has their all-night parties. And he had an afternoon game on a Sunday afternoon, and he threw a perfect game, and he was completely hungover. He basically told he was the catcher, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to make it today. It's, these things happen, I suppose. Who was the dude for Boston? The guy that was on the weird pills in like the 70s. He had a nickname. He threw a no-hitter while on something. Spaceman. What was the guy's name? Spaceman Lee? Yeah.
The guy did acid that pitched for
yeah.
It's like a YouTube short.
Billy, I think it was Spaceman Billy. And
I don't think it was someone who did the acid though.
Yeah. Tim's in chat. He's all over it. Tim's telling us it was LSD. He's correcting us. Is that similar? Those the same family?
Maybe.
I don't know. All right. We're going to talk about our tiers in just a second. I do want to drop a third clue because I don't think we have a winner just yet.
Doc Ellis, Mr. Richard got it in chat.
No.
Threw a no-hitter, perfect game or something.
All right. Let's see. Shaq. It's not. Shaquille O'Neal's not active. I mean, okay. I mean, you can do what you want whenever the clues, but I kind of told you this is an active ball player. Well, I shouldn't say ball player. Athlete. I'm not saying there are people say ball player is baseball. That's not what I'm saying. Could be a baseball player. Not necessarily. Stock Gunnar Henderson, not Paul George, not Keenan Allen, not Patrick Mahomes, or Travis Kelce. Let's go ahead and drop that third clue. The third clue, Bobby, and I noticed you haven't guessed on our private chat. You just don't want to ruin it. I understand. Is soon. So active, key, and soon. That is our first three clues. We're going to talk some tiers here in just a second. And today's tier category. Bobby, I don't know if you know this, but today, I'm curious how you're celebrating besides taking a nap. Today is National Video Game Day. And I know how much you love video games. You would never shame anybody. You would never shame anybody that plays video games over the age of 12. You would never do that. But have you partook in any sort of celebration?
No.
In National?
No.
Yeah, didn't think so.
Have you? I know that's your thing. Video games till 3 a.m.
I mean, I'm not against them. I'm pro, and in moderation, whatever. You probably shouldn't be playing it 17 hours a day. Whatever. If you're an adult, make your own decisions. Have a good time. But all right. Apparently they're saying that you wouldn't even be allowed to play video games if you wanted to. That's a tough call. I don't know.
I wouldn't play them even if I was allowed.
All right. So I power ranked. I just kind of looked at some of the games I played recently. Of course, there's a whole bunch. I didn't pick any of the sport games per se, but I did power rank some of my favorite video games I played in the last couple of years, Bobby. And I wanted to tilt you because I know you're going to be mad at me for playing video games.
I'm not if you put NHL up top, though.
I didn't. I do love the NHL game. I did not put the NHL game in there though, but I do buy it every other year typically because they don't really change it. It's very similar. Although Matthew Tkachuk's on the cover this year. Get excited. I think it's like 25 days until the opening season of hockey. It's right around the corner. The thing about being a Panther fan is that the season never ends because it never ends because they always go to the Stanley Cup Finals and always win it, and it always goes 7 games. So like once the season ends, like the new season's right around the corner. They must be exhausted. But I imagine Tim can confirm. I think it's 25 days till hockey season. Super excited about that. We're going to three-peat, of course. All right, so chat, let me know your favorite video games, least favorite as well. But here is my board, Bobby, and I imagine you haven't played any of these, which is fine. Or maybe there's something you played as a child you might want to throw out there that maybe should be acknowledged.
All I know is The Last of Us is the worst video game made movie or TV show I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's a TV show. There's a lot of terrible movie video games. I can tell you that. And I like the TV show. I think the TV show is very good, but that's fine. We're allowed to have different opinions.
Oh, what an awful take.
I think you're in the minority on this. If you look at like Rotten Tomatoes stuff, I would imagine it's done really, really well.
They casted. That is the worst casting of all time with that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
where's TJ? TJ, let him know in chat that he's wrong. He's objectively wrong. I imagine TJ's on my side in this one.
Chat would probably agree with me.
Well, you know what? We can make a poll question. We can settle things.
I didn't like that actress in Game of Thrones. I think it was
in it.
What?
She was barely in it. You're talking about the lead on The Last of Us? She was barely in Game of Thrones, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Wasn't a fan.
And Pedro Pascal was also like in Game of Thrones as well. I'm sure you recall. Yeah. He had a pretty memorable exit, we'll say. But all right. Last of Us, I thoroughly enjoy those games. There's 2 of them. Uncharted, there's like 4 or 5 of them. They're a lot of fun as well. I play Rocket League a lot. I listen to podcasts and play Rocket League. I put it in the middle because sometimes you get stuck playing with a dud. Like you get stuck playing with doesn't know what they're doing.
Wait, you play a lot?
I play a couple. Yeah, I play a couple times a week.
What are you ranked?
I don't know. I have no idea if you've been ranked. I couldn't tell you. I'm like a league average Rocket League player. I'm not spectacular, but I'm not bringing the team down. Are you a Rocket League guy?
Let's play together sometime.
All right. We'll have to sync up for sure.
Wow.
I hope I'm not terrible. Maybe I'm secretly terrible, and I don't know.
That's awesome. I'm not great. You might be better than me.
Fortnite. Steve was telling me he was not happy with this ranking, but I know a lot of people love Fortnite, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's bad for me because I'm not good at it, and I just lose right away. I just sit around waiting for the next game to fire up in a couple minutes. I'm not helpful to the team, Bobby. I'm letting everybody down. I'm not good. And the thing is, like, these people that are just experts, they'll just annihilate you in seconds.
Well, Modern Warfare or anything like that. These are just games.
I played the COD. I played that a little bit too, but yeah. I'm not good at it. So you have to be really good, and that's just and that's not for me. And then I'm just waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto game. That's not a game per se. I don't know when it's coming. They keep delaying it. It's been like 12 years since the most recent one. So it's not a game, but
where's the next one located? Have they dropped where it's going to be located?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I think they did, and I just don't recall. The last one, the most recent one, I believe, was the Miami one. Feel free to correct me, Chats or Steve. But yeah, it was supposed to be released this year, and it was delayed again. I guess it's just really, it's because they're so detailed. I don't know. There's so much going on in those games. I guess it just takes forever to make them. Just like the Red Dead, like they're saying the next one's going to be like in 2030 maybe, because if you ever play those games, it's just so involved. There's so much going on. But all right, that is our tiers. I know Steve is touting Fortnite there in the chat. Eric is saying, yeah, Grand Theft Auto coming out next year. That's what they say. We'll see. That is what they say. Next one is Miami. They're going back to Miami? I don't know. But okay. Looking forward to that if and when that ever does inevitably come out. Taking a peek one more time at the live stream chat for any winners. I don't think we have any for Active, Key, and Soon. Don't think we have a winner just yet. It's not Jose Altuve or Jordan Alvarez or Aaron Rodgers or Isaiah Likely. But, okay, we can drop a fourth clue. Yeah, let's drop a fourth clue. Got to get a winner here today. The fourth clue is star. So Active, Key, Soon, star, 12 games, 24 teams. Let's throw them in some tiers, Bobby. The first game, Baltimore, Toronto, Chris Bassett taking on Trevor Rogers. It is a 7.5 total. Toronto's the favorite here. Rogers is another one of those guys that's been really lucky this season. His ERA has been solid. I think it's been better than solid, 1.51, which is completely absurd. Also a 3.3% homer to fly ball, which is incredibly goofy. Good for him. Ground ball lean, but like that's got to be corrected at some point. But I'm curious where you're putting Toronto and Baltimore, 2 teams that I think are going to be mostly ignored today.
Yeah. So for Baltimore, I actually have somewhat interest for Chris Bassett. Tyler O'Neill, I think, is fine. Mountcastle, Jackson Holiday. I think I'd put them in Rocket League. Toronto, I'm going to go Fortnite. Obviously, George Springer, Vlad, Schneider. I think those guys are all fine. Ty France, let's get some savings there, 2,900. And those would be the 2 Rocket League for Baltimore, Steve, and Fortnite for the Blue Jays.
Toronto going in Fortnite. The Blue Jays going in tier 4. You got Baltimore in tier 3. White Sox, Guardians, Bybee versus Martin Perez. I did think that Big Christmas is interesting as a 2K cheapie. You can throw him in the outfield too, first base on DK. Those 2K players can be useful. There is some pinch hit risk if and when a righty comes in. Also, I would say David Fry is another guy with a potential pinch hit risk for the Guardians, but they're also not great versus lefties as a collective. Of course, there's J-Ram, who's always playable. There's Colson Montgomery, who was just annihilated right-handers this season. The rest of the lineup is a little bit sketch. But you tell me. White Sox, Guardians, what do you got?
Yeah, White Sox would be in Fortnite. You hit on Colson Montgomery. Don't mind him. Kyle Teal for the White Sox as well. I'm fine with. Just as mainly just one-offs pretty much. And then the Guardians, I'm going to put them in waiting for the next GTA. No real interest in the Guardians at all. I know they're facing Martin Perez. I still don't really love this lineup. J-Ram. J-Ram I think is fine. Angel Martinez. But, I don't love the Cleveland Guardians at all.
All right. Game number 3, moving along here. Yankees, Red Sox, Luis Heel, some would say, against Lucas Giolito. Historically, these games we say this, and I hear Kirk would say it sometimes too. We say that, and these games tend to go off and tend to be. I feel like we just remember the ones that do. I don't know. Maybe they don't. The Boston and New York certainly have some games that they're 3-4, right? 4-3. I don't know why I put the lower number first. That's amateur hour for sure. But again, the weather not necessarily perfect for hitting homers. I just laid out earlier how much I want to pick on Luis Seal, so I do I'm just trying to make it happen. I do like Boston, especially the lefties. Jaron Duran's one of my favorite plays on the slates. I like Nate Lowe as well. Prefer the price more so on FanDuel, but certainly on TK you can play him. And then there's the Yankees, just absolute boppers. 1 through 6, at least 1 through 6. Grisham, Judge, Rice, Bellinger, Stanton, and Jazz. Where do you see the Yankees and Boston?
Yankees are going to be in The Last of Us versus Giolito. Trent Grisham and Rice, probably my favorites outside of Judge. Jazz, Giancarlo, these guys are all fine as well. Ryan McMahon down on the 9-hole. Red Sox, you mentioned Heel's walk rate. I don't mind putting the Red Sox in uncharted. Really, guys, Duran, Bregman, Nate Lowe. Don't mind these guys versus Heel at all. Navarez is fine. I really love the back end of the order, but Raphael is there to round it out. So, Red Sox are uncharted for me.
All right. Every category is filled. We have New York in the top tier of The Last of Us. You got Boston in uncharted. Jumping in there in just a second. All right. Crunch time again, coming in about a half an hour or so. Cheap and just Kevin Roth, Dave Potts, Cheeseisgood. You got Chris Prince, Beermakersfan. We talk about his Beast of the Night. I'm sure I'll let you guys have it. Also worth noting that his 6-pack for football is out as well. I saw that hit the interwebs, hit the YouTube, so check that out. If you guys aren't aware, Beer also does football videos, not just baseball videos. Okay, that is 4 down, 8 to go. Detroit and Miami. Potential pitchers duel, certainly on one side, we think. Tarek Skubal, and of late, Sandy Alcantara has been pitching spectacular with a bit of a hiccup last time out, but overall, kind of getting the old Cy Young form here late in the season when it doesn't matter. But it's a 7 total. Detroit's a big boy favorite. They do have a team total just above 4, which means the Marlins are just below 3. Pretty paltry. I imagine they'll be hanging out. What would make sense if and when the next Grand Theft Auto game comes out that's taking place in Miami. Not to tell you where to put them, but Marlins and Tigers, what do you got?
Yeah, Miami waiting for the next GTA. I have really no interest in the lineup at all versus Skubal. Tigers, I'm going to throw in Rocket League. Riley Green's probably my favorite. Kerry Carpenter right behind him. Colt Keith is fine. But that's where I would put the Tigers.
All right. Scooting along here. Next game is Texas and the Mets. We mentioned, again, I'm fairly certain that this is the first time ever DeGrom is throwing baseballs against the Mets. Kind of a coin toss here. Jonah Tong on the other side. Runs expected to be at a bit of a premium. 7.5 is the collective total. Neither of these teams creeping above 4. Just nobody's going to play Lindor, Soto, Polar Bear. Like this, it's just not going to happen. I suppose you can do it in large field stuff. And if you want to be on your own island, you can pick worse teams, but it is a tough opponent there in DeGrom. And Tong looks pretty good for the Mets so far as well. But where do you want to put the Rangers and New York?
Yeah, no one's going to be on the Mets. I do think at low ownership, these guys are fine versus DeGrom. What's going on with the screen here? Why did it slide down?
I don't know. I think Steve is looking for a team. I imagine.
The Mets. I would put the Mets in Rocket League. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, they all grade out well. Vientos. So they're fine. And then the Rangers. This Rangers lineup isn't great at all. Wyatt Langford would probably be the only bat that really stood out to me. I'd put him in Fortnite.
They are really missing, Seager for sure. It's wild. If you look at the Mets, every one of these hitters is in the green on ISO, and 8 of 9 are in the green as far as WOBA. And the one that's not is historically a good hitter in Cedric Mullins. So it's a tough task for DeGrom. They don't really strike out a lot either. 21% collectively on a massive number. So tough task there for DeGrom. As far as the other side, you mentioned Texas. Yeah, it's Langford, Burger Time, I guess, maybe, kind of, sort of, somewhat, but just not a lot there. And a really small sample. Hellman has been good against righties, but I don't buy it. I just think that's small sample stuff. Okay, let's move along. By the way, winner, chicken dinner in the live stream chat channel. We do have a winner for today's Fleet Friday. Shout out to LBC. LBC took it down a week free of RG Premium.
It's actually IBC.
IBC. Oh, big fan of the root. Is it a root beer reference? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know, but when you click on it, it looks like LBC. When you click on it, it shows a lowercase I. So.
Okay. We got to power rank root beers one of these days, Bobby. That's something I'm sure you're passionate about. You're more of a Barks guy, aren't you? You're
a
big
AW. I don't like any root beer. It's disgusting. Root beer is disgusting, Dean.
But I don't know. Like, a lot of people that are like Europeans will say, I think it's around the world mostly, it tastes medicinal because that's kind of the taste of medicine in other parts of the world. But if you're raised on it, maybe it's more. You don't necessarily get that vibe. But I feel like that is a GPP play, right? A lot of people are very passionate. They either love it or hate it, that kind of thing.
It's like Diet Coke. I can never drink Diet Coke.
But you drink Coke?
I like regular Coke, yeah.
Okay. I feel like they're pretty similar, but fair enough.
They're not similar at all.
Okay. Yeah. And is Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper also in that same grouping? Do you also put them in the same box as root beer? Or not necessarily?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not like a root beer connoisseur. I don't like anything that tastes like root beer, so they would all be.
Steve's saying no. He shook his head no. Dr. Pepper is not made from roots, according to Izzy. Okay. You learn something new every day. We did give a week free of RG Premium out to IBC. You can just go ahead and pay for it as well. If you didn't win it, sorry. Try again next time. Try again on Monday. And we have a nice little nice deal going on, especially with football in full effect right now. You get NFL DFS action. You get access to NFL Combo Pro for $79.99, and that is actually just $5 more. $5 more than NFL a la carte. If you want NFL a la carte, you can have that. All the bells, all the whistles. You get the projections and the optimizer.
Root beer.
Say it again.
Tim likes root beer, of course.
I'm trying to do like an ad read here. You just broke up the whole ad read. You didn't see I went into sell mode.
I'm sorry. I've done that before.
Now derailed. We can just throw the thing up on the screen, I suppose, and let people know. Also get into on the YouTube, get into the messages, get into the notes, and get yourself a link to firing up. You get yourself Combo Pro for $79.99. And again, that just adds all the other sports. We mentioned hockey is right around the corner, right? It's less than a month away. Football, baseball, basketball. I say football because that's college football as well. MMA, PGA, LOL. Is LOL still? I keep saying LOL. I'm not sure if that's still a thing, or they might have rebranded it as like CSGO. I know Tim does the projections for one of those. Maybe both of them? Are they two different things? I'm not sure. You think I was?
There are two different things, like drastically different.
Okay.
League of Legends is a very different game than Counter-Strike.
You think I would know this as the video game connoisseur on the show today, but I did not know that. And here's Kirkwood jumping in. Love a nice root beer. Yeah, people are very divisive about root beer for sure. Yeah. All right. We shall scoot along. Get yourself some premium if you don't have it just yet. Test drive it for a month. You get all the sports for just $5 more, with the exception of NASCAR. NASCAR doing its own thing, a la carte. Okay, next game up. And we can drop the fifth clue, by the way, just for fun. And you know what? Steve's way ahead of me. He's on top of it. We got a winner, but the fifth clue is scrolling if you want to figure it out on your own. You don't quite know the answer just yet. You didn't peek in the Discord. Except is the fifth clue. Houston and Atlanta. That's a 9 total. Jaden Murray, just an opener here, taking on Hurston Waldrop. He's another guy that's been pretty lucky so far this season. This Astros lineup weakened a little bit, right? There's no Pena in there today. I'm not sure who Zach Cole is. I don't think Zach Cole is in the player pool. I feel like they keep calling up guys that stink, the Astros, trying to find somebody. But Zach Cole, again, I don't think he's in the pool, but he's playing baseball for the Astros today. No Pena, and also they have their backup catcher in there, Caratini. How do you see the Astros and Atlanta?
Both these teams are going to go in Rocket League for me. Jordan is probably my favorite bet on the slate. This without Pena, this Astros team is definitely weakened. I do think you can go to Jesus Sanchez as well, Carlos Correa, but they would be in Rocket League. And same thing for the Braves versus the opener. Just never really like stacking versus an opener. But all the regular Braves are in play, Profar, Olsen, Acuna. If you want to go to those guys, difficult to stack for me.
I mean, if you're playing Waldrop, just throwing it out there, this Zach Cole character, not a big prospect in the Astros organization. 26th, according to Fangraphs, 25 years old, just turned 25 a month ago. But what I noticed is the strikeouts, striking out over 30% in the minors, 38% in Double-A. Good Lord. That was last season. This season, 36% in Double-A. And Steamer has him projected to strike out at a clip of 39.5% in the majors. Holy smokes. Again, I'm not necessarily on Waldrop. I'm not saying you can't play him, but this is a boost to Waldrop, what I'm seeing as far as some K upside. All right, Andre Palante and almost ground balls taking on the Brewers. The Brewers are rolling out Quinn Priester, cousin Quinn. Frelick, Churio.
Cousin Quinn?
Say it again?
Cousin Quinn, he's your cousin?
No, Will. He's the Chiefs' cousin.
Is he really?
I mean, in theory. No, I haven't done like a 23andMe, but I'm pretty sure it's just a bit. Yeah. Fairly certain it's a bit. Yeah.
My brother suggested Quinn today for a name for the next kid.
Okay. Is it? Oh, you haven't. You're like 10 days away. Is that what it is? 2 weeks? You haven't officially locked up and in?
No, I have no clue what it's going to be. Maybe chat can give me some hints.
I'm sure they're going to have a that'll wake up chat. Chat, tell Bobby what he's saying.
What should I name my kid?
Is there any sort of pattern? Like the first name, second name? You want to is there any sort of continuation?
It's a boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Quinn's like a unisex name, correct? Like you'd go.
Yeah, I think so. But are you doing any sort of like all your kids name their name with a B or a certain letter, or you do anything? Is there any sort of qualifiers you need?
No qualifiers. Just throw them out. Buster. Calling me a Buster.
I think Buster's like a dog's name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not that it can't be a person's name, but yeah. Yeah. What about Dean? I think Dean's a good one.
Definitely not Dean.
No. All right. That was going to be my suggestion.
I liked Gunner. Like Gunner.
Okay. Who has final say though?
An A.
Who named the first two kids?
With an A. Gunner with an A.
Who named the first two kids, Bobby?
My grandmother named the first one. The second one, we both named. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now it's up for grabs. Whoever now makes the best name. Everything's up for discussion.
Johnny is out because then it would be Johnny Gomes and spell Johnny Gomes, even though it's Gomez. But Johnny Gomes like the Red Sox that I hated the most ever.
Did you have some interactions with him?
No. I thought he was terrible.
Yeah. I thought the name sounded familiar when you say that. I'm like, I feel like that means something. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. I remember the outfielder many years ago. Not too long ago, I guess. So St. Louis and the Brewers, where are you throwing them on the board? No bar being suggested in chat, which, of course, everybody knows is Ramon backwards.
It is Ramon backwards, yeah. St. Louis down in Fortnite for me. Burleson, Contreras, I think those guys are fine. Brewers are going to be pretty... I feel like I should be higher with the Brewers on Palante. Let's put the Brewers in Uncharted. Even though I didn't really like the stack to start the show. Yelich, Terang, Bonds there. You could stack this team up, though, pretty good. They're cheap, too, so allow you to get up to school ball.
Our friend Chris Kirkwood is suggesting Christopher Gomes. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, Chris ain't a bad name. I like Chris.
There you go. We've already come up like 3 or 4, so you can bring back to the table and have the conversation. You got to keep us.
Comer.
Is there a pool? Are we betting on when the child's going to be?
No, it's a C-section, so it's like buying a couch. You go in and it's like planned. Yeah,
you got inside information. You can lock it up.
When you have a kid, it's like it's very transactional. You know.
Uh-huh.
Like, here's the child. You stay there for a few days, and I'll probably stay home because I can't do the cot, sleeping on the cot. So I'm kind of a big guy, so it's tough for me to fit on the cot. Yeah.
Yeah. But you probably, look, I'm not here to, probably not the best time to complain, to your significant other. I imagine she's.
No, she doesn't care. I can do whatever I want except watch TV. That's pretty much it.
The D-backs are in Minnesota, 8.5 in total. It's Pablo Lopez taking on Brandon Pfaadt. We did get the news that Ketel Marte is not in the Arizona lineup. I think he was at one point, but he was scratched. He was hurt a couple days ago, if not yesterday. I don't recall what day it was. But, Arizona and Minnesota. Minnesota is the minus 142 favorites. Pfaadt versus Lopez. Where are we throwing these teams?
We can throw Arizona. Ketel Marte kind of brings Arizona down for me. I know they're facing. Let's put Arizona in Rocket League. And the Twinkies. Where can we put the Twinkies? I don't want to middle too much. We'll go the Twinkies in Uncharted, even though I like Pfaadt as like a GPP pitcher. Guys at Sano for the Twinks. Buxton, Larnick, Wallner, probably the main guys. Cody Clemens. Still
just one team in our top tier, the Yankees. Tatum Gomes being thrown out there. Tatum Gomes.
I would never name my kid Tatum ever.
What do you have against Jason Tatum?
Like Larry Gomes. So Larry's a good one.
Oh boy. All right, Colorado.
Tatum. He's the Tin Man. He has no heart.
Oh, come on.
He's not a closer. He's not a closer. What's that scene from where he's like, oh, Jordan versus LeBron, and they're smuggling drugs over the border or whatever. It's like a funny movie comedy. It's with
I don't remember.
Jennifer Aniston's in it. Come on, you know this movie.
We're the Millers.
We are the Millers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good talk.
We're the underrated comedy from like the aughts, right? 2010 or so. For some reason, it just kind of gets lost in history, but people forget about it. It was pretty good. We're the Millers. All right, Rockies, Padres. We have Tanner Gordon taking on JP Sears. The Padres, I think they're the biggest total on the board. If not them, it's the Athletics. They're right there, neck and neck. As far as our lineup today, no lineup just yet. Tanner Gordon, not good. Bullpen, not good. Ballpark, not great. Padres, possibly gutless. They've definitely shown signs of being gutless, but they look still pretty well positioned today. But we've seen this story before. Where do we want to throw San Diego and Colorado?
Yeah, San Diego up in The Last of Us. Tatis, Machado, Ryan O'Hearn, Laureano, who's probably one of my favorite players in the MLB currently. I'm going The Last of Us with the Padres. Oh, the Rockies, the lowly Rockies. What to do with them? Definitely not playing the Rockies. I'd put them in Fortnite. Jordan Beck and Hunter Goodman I like. That's mainly it.
The best argument for some Rockies is JP Sears gives up a lot of homers, gives up a lot of fly balls.
I just told you Hunter Goodman will go yard. There's your homer.
Yeah, he's got one of the bigger fly ball rates on the slate. 2.25 homers per 9. So, yeah, I don't mind a mini with some of the Colorado righties. I don't think we have a lineup just yet, but I do agree Goodman will be the play on the Colorado side. And if you want to play him a la carte, by all means, no issues with that. Beck and Doyle will be the other ones, and Tovar. But I also don't want to go full Colorado.
Okay. Someone asked what kind of name is Gomes. My last name is Gomez. Just throwing it out there.
It was just pronounced. Yeah, just somebody years ago said it's
I just hate.
Gomes,
yeah. I hate correcting people because it's spelled with an S. Yeah.
So Xavier Gomes was thrown out in chat. Xavier?
Like Xavier? No.
Bring Xavier to the table.
Someone's gonna come up with a good name here.
There's some bad ones too. I'm not saying
some really bad.
I'm doing some editing. I see some in the chat, some bad nominations.
What do you mean you're editing? Doing editing?
Well, I'm just not saying the ones that some of them that are pretty clearly a joke.
Oh, ruthless villain. Yeah.
Well, there's several, but yeah, I'm just
Dago.
Yeah. You're not going to believe this, but Broccoli Boy's throwing out some nonsense too.
Adolf. Yeah, I saw that one. I don't know why.
I'm not here to tell you what to name your child, but
Nades keeps saying Jackson. I feel like Jackson's like super popular though.
CK
like
Blake.
Or X? Hammer said Blake. I like Blake.
You like Jackson CK or X?
I don't know. No, I said Jackson's like super popular. Like there's a ton of Jacksons.
No, but I'm asking the spelling of Jackson.
Probably, I don't know. What, like CK, I guess. Okay. He spelled it with an X.
Amon Ra Gomes is pretty good. I like that. Sun God. I like that. That's pretty solid.
I like Blake.
All right.
Could do Blake in there. I call my son Bo sometimes, so I can't do Bo. I do like Bo though. Shaquille.
There's some good nominations. I hope you're writing this all down.
Yeah, I can always go back and chat afterwards.
Cincinnati and the Athletics. JT again taking on Brady Singer. Best offensive environment in the slate.
Eric just said it. Name your kid Mike. That's probably what I'm going to do.
That's like the default.
The default, yeah.
It's a good cash play, right?
Yeah.
It's got a good floor.
That's like what the lean is currently.
Is it?
Yeah. I like Sherlock. Sherlock's a good one.
Sherlock Gomes. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I like that.
I actually wrote in like the 4th grade. I was obsessed with Sherlock Holmes, and I wrote a book report. I didn't sign it. I just put my name. I titled it Sherlock Gomes.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Did you want to do like the junior thing, or I guess juniors? Yeah.
No. My son's Robert. He's not a junior. He's named after me, obviously, but I wanted to name him Julian. Italian grandmothers are tough with the names.
Was Julian after Edelman?
Julian after the kid in Big Daddy.
What was the last name? Like Julian, what was the other ridiculous last name too, right? When you put them together, wasn't that the joke?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Well, I'm thinking of Julia Gulia, which is a different Adam Sandler movie. I think that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was Julia. Yeah.
Cincinnati and the Athletics, Ginn versus Singer. What do you got?
I'm going to put the A's in The Last of Us. Nick Kurtz. I know he's probably your favorite player. We'll get him in there. Rooker, Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, like them a lot. Cincy, where are we going with Cincy?
They stink, but like they should be so much better.
It's a good ballpark. I like Ginn, though. I'm going to go uncharted with Cincy, even though I like Ginn a little bit, just for the price tag. Novell Marte, Ellie, Hayes, Stevenson, probably the main guys.
Surprising how bad Frito's been this year versus righties power-wise, but no, he's leading off, and he looks like a decent play. Ellie De La Cruz, the wheels are awesome. Stolen bases in the 30s this year. Only 19 homers this year, which I thought would be more. I was looking at the season-long numbers. But Ginn has really dramatic splits. He's distinctly worse versus lefties. 295 ISO, 446 WOBA, which is massively terrible. And he was worse last year. He's really, really, really bad against lefties. And De La Cruz is actually really bad against lefties. So you have the worst of Ginn against the best of De La Cruz. He's also kind of pricey. I don't know if I'm going to play him in a stack, but I might just play him by himself for like a 2-man. And yeah, if you have the salary, Kurtz looks awesome as well. I don't know if I do. I'm not sure if I'm prioritizing it, but a 390 ISO is completely bonkers and almost 300 bats. A 500 WOBA, also bonkers. I think there's just one lefty in that Cincinnati bullpen. I'm remembering checking bullpens over today. I think that's what it was earlier today. All right, Angels, Seattle. We got a Seattle lineup. It's a Rosarena, Big Dumper, J-Rod, Suarez, Polanco, Garvey. Got both catchers in there, Robles, Luke Raleigh, and J.P. Crawford left on left in the 9-hole. No Angels just yet. We talked about it several times throughout the show. Castillo dominant versus righties. We're expecting 7, 8 righties here from the Angels. We may or may not see Joe Adell in the starting lineup. We may or may not see him actually play baseball, despite being in the starting lineup. He's been scratched 3 consecutive days. Mike Trout going for homer number 400. Angels, Mariners, what do you got?
Yeah, Angels, the BVP would say I should have them higher, but I like Castillo tonight. I'm going to put Angels in Fortnite. Mike Trout, Moncada, Neto, Taylor Ward, the top 4 there I like. Obviously, we don't know what the situation is with Adele. If he was playing, I'd include playing him. I think he's playable as well. Seattle's going to go in Rocket League for me. Cal Raleigh, Gino, probably the 2 that stand out the most, but I think you could stack up any of these Seattle guys if you want. Angels in Fortnite.
All right. Chat's calling you out saying the today's board is very blocky today. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams too. There's a lot of teams.
A lot of teams.
Not a lot to love.
It's my board, remember, at the end of
the day. Somebody else's board might not be as blocky.
Might not be as blocky, you know.
I do want to tell the people about today's Fleet Friday. We do have a winner in chat. That was IBC. The clues were active, key, soon, star, accept. So active was telling you there is no shenanigans. I was actually telling you that this is an active athlete who's still playing. Key was in reference to this person's number because there are keys on a piano, Bobby. You know how many keys are on a piano offhand? Yeah,
36,
I mean, you have a piano right over your shoulder.
36, Dean.
How do you say that with such confidence of being so wrong? You say that with full confidence, and you're not even close. You have the piano. Just go count them over. You take your time. You feel free to go walk and count the keys if you want. We have a few minutes. There's a piano over your shoulder. It's
How many keys? 88. How many keys?
There are 88. There are 88 keys on a piano, which tells
88 keys.
Yeah, it's a lot of keys. That's this person's number.
Yeah.
Soon,
Broccoli Boy finally asked a good question an hour and a half into the show. What was the rationale between switching Film Friday to Fleet Friday?
Well, to change things up, to spice things up. And, I haven't had a couple of Thursdays in a row now where it's been no show. So we're a little bit behind on the athletes. So I figured I'd show the athletes some love. And that's all. It's also, it is a sports show after all. So we should, try to stay in the wheelhouse of some athletes every so often. So that was the reasoning. Clue number 3 was soon. Soon was in reference to this person's college. They went to Oklahoma, known as the Sooners. Clue number 4 references their, you can say they're a star, but also they play the most famous star in the NFL, the star on the 50-yard line in Dallas. And 5, except we know this person wears number 88. They play for Dallas. They play for OKC. Except is their position. They're a wide receiver. This, of course, was CeeDee Lamb. I did not use sheer or letters. There's other clues we made.
How does key work for CeeDee Lamb?
How does what?
Key?
Dude, we just talked about this. Piano. There are 88 keys on a piano, and CeeDee Lamb is number 88. Last game before crunch time comes, I also want to get a couple of Bobby bombs. Tell the people who's going yard tonight. No lineups just yet. It's a late game. It's Verlander versus Yamamoto. Dodgers are going to be kind of lost here because of the ballpark. They're still kind of pricey, especially someone like Ohtani. 8 total. Again, no lineups just yet. Where do you want to put the Dodgers and the Giants?
Yeah, Dodgers and Uncharted. Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, probably my favorite. The Giants. We're going to put the Giants actually in better. We'll put the Giants in Fortnite. Devers, Chapman, and Damas. Yeah. Round it out.
Chapman won his appeal. Did see as far as the suspension, so I assume we're going to see him in the lineup again. No lineup just yet. West Coast game does not start for 4 hours or so. I'll go ahead and recap the board. Today, I'm sure everybody's out there celebrating in their own way. It is National Video Game Day. So I ranked some of my favorite video games. There's so many to pick from. So, yes, a lot of things are not in the board. But tier number 1 is The Last of Us. That's got San Diego, the Yankees, and the Athletics. The Uncharted series, that's Boston, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Cincinnati, and the Dodgers. That's tier 2. Rocket League right in the middle. It's Baltimore, Detroit, Houston, Atlanta, the Mets, Arizona, Seattle. Tier 4, Fortnite. I'm just not very good at it is the problem. And I keep losing very quickly. Toronto, the White Sox, Texas, St. Louis, Colorado, the Angels, San Fran. And tier 5, not a video game, just sitting around for 14 years.
Casey Douglas makes a good point in chat. Keys, plural, would have been a better clue. Just saying.
You would have got there if I put keys. My bad. That's a fair point. Waiting for the next Grand Theft Auto game, just kind of sitting around waiting for it. It's been like 12, 13 years or so. But by themselves, well, no, it's Cleveland and the Marlins in tier 5. All right. Bobby Bumps, fire away. What do you got?
We'll go Yordan Alvarez. Go Nick Kurtz. And we'll go Trent Grisham.
Is that we're stopping at 2?
I gave 3, Dean.
Okay, I'm sorry. I heard. I guess I missed one of them.
Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz.
I heard Grisham. Who did I miss?
Alvarez, Yordan.
All right. Bobby, we're going to seamlessly segue to Crunch Time. They're all here. We have Crunch Time fully assembled. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Roth, Dave Potts, Cheeseisgood. We have the Prince and Potts combination, beer and cheese. Let's do it. Crunch Time right now. Kevin Roth, I'll publicly say it. I was not aware of your game. I saw your tweet, your mixtape. It's not even a mixtape. It was just you just start. Was there any starts and stops? Like I saw you, on Twitter. You put a minute or two, a couple minutes of you just kind of messing around on the court, making most of your buckets. Was that the first take? Was there one take where you missed like 3 in a row and said, "Screw it, I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna start this over again."
I didn't make most of my shots, Dean. I made all of the shots. First off, I just want to. You can go back and watch the tape. There were 0 missed shots, but also that absolutely was not the first take. Yeah. I didn't just hit record and just hit 7 shots in a row with fadeaways and threes. I did have a few misses in there. We don't have to talk about
edited it for you, Steve.
There was no editing, no editing involved. That was all straight baller skills. But nobody gave me credit, Dean, except you.
I didn't.
And Bime4. Nobody else said shit, as if they were just expecting the weatherman to be the greatest hooper in DFS history. Like it surprised no one somehow.
There's going to be better hoopers. Big T is pretty good.
He is pretty good.
That was Ross' nice way of saying it, but I'm better. I think it's always Beer's got some size and nothing else. I don't know if Beer's out of practice for.
I still think I can beat Roth.
Beer is like 6'6", 6'6",
6'5", 6'4", shrinking and growing this way. So I used to play a lot of basketball back in the days, but it's been a while, Dean. So I don't want to, blow out an ACL or anything. So we'll let Roth have his moment here. He's the hooper.
I mean, did you hear Bobby's ridiculousness?
He did.
Bobby, did you see my tweet? Go look at my tweet.
That doesn't mean anything. There's no one guarding you.
Bobby, if you were guarding me, it would be like there's no one guarding me.
I don't believe
It's the
that.
same thing.
You're 6 feet. I'm 6'1", you know.
All right.
Let's
Bobby
just make
also
this easy.
says
Meansy should be at the top of the. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy,
Meansy's by
the
far
guy
the
played
best
at
basketball
Duke.
player in DFS.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I
doubt.
totally. How do we forget Meansy?
Of course, he hasn't played in 20 years, and I still think I could take him. But that's besides the
wow.
point.
Now that's there. Now that's a
Gauntlet
bold
thrown
call.
He hasn't dribbled a basketball in 20 years, and that's not an exaggeration.
I got Roth. I think Roth is a sharp money. I hope Meansy's not watching. I saw the mistake. I was convinced. By the way, and Bobby is taking shots at Roth. The same person who says he can roll out of bed and throw like 90 miles an hour.
You're right.
For like a 4.2.
I never said that. This is all like
More or less. Might be rounding up a little
I
bit.
said. I can throw over 80. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, leave it
If I
there.
can hit 82, I'm pretty sure I can do it. Yeah.
All right, Bobby. Anything else before we step aside and get out of here? Make way for crunch time. 12-game slate. A lot to talk about. Anything for the road before we go?
No, that's it. Good luck tonight, guys.
Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. You got 45 plus minutes. Roth, it's 7:07. 7:07. Shout out to Canada tonight. That is your first pitch. You got Dave Potts, you got beer, and you have Kevin Roth. Roth, take it away.
Good stuff. Shout out to Nice Cat. Says Bobby dunked on Corey Maggette in high school. That's such a strange random reference, but I love it. Welcome, everybody. It is crunch time. Two of the sharpest minds in the industry, two of the OGs in the industry as well. Dave Potts, Cheeseisgood in the house. What up, Cheese?
Two of just old OGs in life. I mean, we're not just old in DFS. We've just been around a while. But we're thrilled to be here. I speak on behalf of both of us. We're doing great, and we're glad
to be clear. OGs does not mean old guy. It's original gangster. I just want to make you feel better, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, but when it's used in reference to me, it actually does mean old guy.
Yeah, it could go either way. Both are acceptable. Cheese, how you feeling about this slate, and how you feeling tonight?
It's weird. I mean, September baseball is always weird, and it's very September-y this year. And it feels like every slate, and this one even more so, really has a lot of like pretty good pitching. It also not like a ton that's like, oh, I have to play those pitchers, but they're all kind of good enough that with all the kind of mediocre weather in ballparks, it's just it's kind of bleh on the hitting side.
Yeah. I will note real quick, you mentioned kind of late season baseball. A lot of times this time of year, you start getting colder air, but we're actually going to be building into a very hot stretch of weather for the middle of the country and the East Coast. So I think we're going to see hitting weather returning. And if it's not quite fully back yet, it will be in the coming days or the coming week or so, which is kind of exciting.
It warmed up here today for sure. I wasn't sure if that was, so it's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be most of the country. So get ready for that. That will increase home run odds as we get towards the middle of the month and maybe even holding through the end of the month. We got Beer in the house as well. My guy, bellying up to the fantasy bar. What up, Beer?
Roth, first of all, this weather. I'm a fall guy. I love baseball, but I'm a football guy. I'm a hoodie guy, cool weather, and all I see is 80, 85 all week here in September. So I'm going to air my complaints there. Still recovering from Vegas. Speaking of old guy, I mean, I was there over the weekend, got back on Monday. It's Friday, and I still feel like I'm in the twilight zone. So I'm trying to snap out of it. So maybe an OG, original gangster in the past, but definitely feeling the old guy part now.
Yeah, still feeling it Friday from getting back on Monday is pretty impressive, honestly.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, really. That just tells me how hard you
we
went.
definitely had a good time. So
yeah, well done. And this was a fantasy draft
weekend.
Was it a fantasy
couple drafts out there, watch some games, hang out with the fellas. Vegas is always a good time. So, but good to be home, good to be back here in the friendly confines with my fellow OG, Mr. Cheese.
Well, we are thrilled to have you back, and we're gonna get you back working in shape here, figuring out what we're doing on this slate. No real weather concerns. I wouldn't be fully surprised if there's a late start in Minnesota, but either way, the game is going to play, and I don't think they're going to see an in-game delay in Minnesota. So I say just do whatever it is you were going to do. And outside of that, no other concerns whatsoever. So let's dive on into the slate itself. Beer, you can start us off with a little pitcher talk if you don't mind.
So this slate is interesting because we're going to talk a lot of bats, a lot of stacks. There's a lot of viable teams. I'm a little bit more optimistic than Cheese on the pitching. I don't think there's endless supply of guys, but there's certainly enough guys at all different price range. Skubal, we don't have to spend a lot of time on. He's up to 12K on DraftKings, so that can be a tough click. But I mean, this is maybe not the best strikeout spot as a team, but there's a lot of individual strikeouts in that lineup. So there will be value bats that you can make him happen. My favorite is probably Luis Castillo, just 7,500. Normally not a high strikeout guy, but the strikeouts have ticked up a little bit lately, and this is the best strikeout matchup on the board for right-handed pitchers. So I think combining matchup price, he really stands out in this spot against the Angels. Yamamoto been on another level. Now he gets to pitch in San Francisco, 20 strikeouts over his last 2 starts. So he's intriguing. If you can't quite get the Skubal, I like the savings on him. DeGrom, another guy, not the best strikeout spot, but a solid projection on him tonight at 6.5. So I think he's in the player pool. Value, not a ton, but I think Sandy Alcantara, interesting at 6K. You could even pair him with Skubal and kind of negate some of that cost, hope for a lower scoring game there. But 22 or more DraftKings points in 4 of his last 5. Good strikeout matchup here against the Tigers. Third highest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. So I think he's viable as well. I know it's never comfortable clicking Sandy Alcantara, but it's a good price, a good strikeout matchup, and he's actually starting to round back into form a little bit.
Okay. Is that it? That's the list?
Yeah, that's most of it for me. Again, the Castillo's probably my favorite. Yamamoto, nice savings off Skubal, and Alcantara, my favorite value.
Okay. Geez, it seems like we've got options. You've got top tier stuff, 12K. You've got a guy who's literally half that price, who is playable. I'm intrigued by this slate. What are you doing pitching wise?
Yeah, I didn't mean to imply that I don't like pitching. I mean to imply that in addition to a bunch of stuff that I like, everyone else, even all the guys I'm not playing, are pretty good.
Okay.
But so essentially there's a slew of pitchers that just didn't make my pool at all because it's good. So let me name a bunch of names that Beer didn't mention and that I'm not going to play, but I think are totally playable.
Yeah. Okay.
Jonah Tong, Chris Bassett, Pablo Lopez, Tanner Bybee, JP Sears, Quinn Priester, Brady Singer, Trevor Rogers, and more. I go further of players that are good that I don't even think are really in the pool.
Yeah.
Because of how good and deep, but really more deep than anything. Like all those guys are playable. I guess the first thing I want to say, the difference on FanDuel and DraftKings with the Skubal pricing, like he's expensive on both, but on DK, he's $2,000 more than the next closest guy in Yamamoto. Whereas on FanDuel, they're almost the same price, Skubal and Yamamoto. So I am not going to goof around on FanDuel where I have salary. I'm just playing Skubal. I'm not going to play even DeGrom. He's like what, $1,200 cheaper. I'm not even playing him. Like if I'm spending over 9,500, it's just Skubal for me on FanDuel. I love Sandy on DraftKings. Like he's not quite his old self, but he's close-ish. Like I think he should be 8K. So he's my highest owned pitcher. And my second highest owned pitcher is JT Ginn, who finally got confirmed as pitching tonight. 5,700 on DraftKings. He's riskier. But he's actually, the underlying numbers say he's very good at pitching. And I believe that he is good. I think he's underpriced. So I have a lot of cheap pitching on DraftKings. I'm actually even playing Ginn on FanDuel. But so kind of the guy that Beer kind of started with after the expensive guys, Luis Castillo. I think that's your big decision point on DraftKings, especially. He's going to be the chalk. I think he'll be higher owned than Skubal because of that salary. Like his matchup is glorious. In general, he is right at that level of guy where I say he's not quite good enough to be chalk.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this matchup is so perfect for that salary. So officially, I think I'm probably under the field because I think he's going to be like 50% owned in smaller field stuff and probably 40 in large field. I'm probably at like 30%. Essentially, I think he's just a good enough play that I can't play like anyone else in that price tier ahead of him because of that matchup. But I would rather go either a Skubal or a Yamamoto with one of those two cheap guys. So that's what I'm doing more of. On FanDuel, I don't think like the ownership is not going to be such a big deal on Castillo. I mean, he will be probably the most popular pitcher below Skubal, but I don't think you have to fade him for ownership on FanDuel. So he's my favorite play around that 9K range. Going just ever so slightly cheaper than him if you don't want to trust JT Ginn, which is fine if you don't. I think Sandy is playable there as well. And I actually have one or two Quinn Priesters on FanDuel. I think that's all I need to mention. But like all those mid-tier guys that neither of us are really playing are all playable. Like when I first looked at the slate, I thought I would probably play a bunch of Jonah Tong and probably at least some Pablo Lopez, Chris Bassett, maybe even JP Sears, Tanner Bybee, but there's too many guys I like for me to get to them.
But even these mid-range dudes have upside. Like they could be a top 3 scorer.
Yeah. I mean, Jonah Tong, we don't know. He's only made 2 starts. He could still be a 30% strikeout pitcher. Like, it's really, there's a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes it very interesting on the hitting side of things. If there's a whole bunch of, if not great pitchers, but at least pretty good pitchers, is it difficult to find some good stacks?
It is for me. Like, there are very few pitchers that I am excited to play against. But it's still a pretty big slate, so there are some. I think you're maybe kind of semi-chalk is probably the Padres, just because they're facing the Rockies. But nobody really likes playing the Padres. And then the A's and the Yankees are the teams that have like super clear slate winning upside to me. Kind of expensive, but I like them. And then we have very cheap teams that I think I like the Twins over the Astros, but they're both like really easy to afford, especially on DraftKings. I like the Red Sox. I kind of like the Brewers, and I very much like the Mariners. I think I'll stop there.
Okay. Beer, you got a few teams you want to list for me?
Yeah, it's some overlap there. I do like the Padres against Gordon. I think it's a good matchup for them. Agree on the Yankees. Giolito is one of those guys. You know, he can pitch at a Cy Young level. He can pitch like I was out there. So I think the Yankees are in a good spot. Really like the Reds and the A's. I think obviously in that stadium it's a good matchup. I agree on the Mariners. Kikuchi's really come back to earth here over the last couple starts. And I think the Braves are interesting. You know, Houston rolling with the starter, the long reliever. Both have struggled against lefties. Bullpen has struggled against lefties. So they could combat that with some lefties out of the bullpen. But I think the Braves, a lot of times when you get these, you know, relief starters, things like that, those stacks tend to go a little bit under-owned. So Braves could be sneaky. And one extra one, Roth, the Rockies could be sneaky here tonight as well.
Okay. Very good, guys. We got to go around the horn, talk position by position. My guy Hammer in the chat pointing out there is a disrespectful amount of likes. It's under 100. That's not okay. Not for the OG squad. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. It is free content by some of the smartest minds in the industry and the only meteorologist in the industry. So make sure you're hitting that thumbs up for us. Beer, let's talk about what we're doing at catcher.
Cal Raleigh's always in play. I don't think he's a priority here tonight, but a great spot for him. 6K is going to be expensive if you're trying to get in, you know, a Skubal, a Yamamoto. I understand that, but wanted to point him out. If you happen to go cheap, you know, maybe he's a little under-owned tonight at that price tag, but there are some other options. I really like Drake Baldwin. I mentioned the Braves in that matchup. He's only 3,900 hitting cleanup. And I mentioned the Rockies. I think Hunter Goodman, probably my favorite bat from that team. So those two, 39, 4,300 on DraftKings. Nice savings off of Raleigh, but if Raleigh's going to be low owned, I would make sure I get a couple shares in your tournament lineups tonight.
Okay. Cheese catcher.
Yeah, I didn't mention the Rockies as a stack because like it's really hard to stack them against a really good bullpen.
Tough for sure.
But Hunter Goodman, you'll see the blue dot. The blue dot is me. He's maybe my favorite play on the whole slate. Probably my highest owned batter. I absolutely, of course, I love Cal Raleigh. But to me, Goodman for that salary is the play. I also like Ben Rice quite a bit. If you want to go cheap, both David Fry and Mitch Garver are guys who like to hit a home run now and then against lefties. You know, Fry probably gets pinch hit for, which is not great, but seems like he always hits a home run before he gets pinch hit for against a lefty. But basically, play Hunter Goodman.
Okay. First base, Cheese. Is it that easy? You just play the one good dude or no?
At first?
Yeah.
It's not as easy as catcher because there's more.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if you have salary, Nick Kurtz is my favorite. I'm playing Kurtz over Ohtani and Freeman. It's just a better matchup. But I do think it's interesting. Like Ohtani and Freeman will be very low owned. Verlander's been really good. Like he's making the old people proud kind of in the second half. So I'm not really playing many Dodgers. But anytime Ohtani is essentially off the board, like, yeah, you should be interested. But I think Kurtz is the top guy if you're spending. I also like Soderstrom as a value right next to Matt Olson. Like those two guys, really affordable on both sites. I prefer playing Olson at first and Soderstrom in the outfield. Like if you're trying to build like mid tier everywhere. Okay, so cheap stuff, depending on what you consider cheap. Ryan O'Hearn is not really cheap, but he's like cheap-ish on FanDuel. I think that lineup just came in. I hadn't seen it before we started. Is Ryan O'Hearn in the lineup?
I'm looking right now. I know that Will Smith is out. So
yeah. So yeah, Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn are both in. That's what I was waiting to see. So yep. Cody Clemens I like for cheap. And then on DraftKings, kind of like the David Fry thing, you can get your 2 at-bats from John Kinsey Noel for minimum salary. And he probably gets pinch hit for, but he's minimum salary and can very much hit a home run for that.
Yeah. Okay. Beer, your thoughts there first, please.
Love Nick Kurtz. He's a staple at the fantasy bar, Roth. He's been in the video a lot this season, so he's a priority spend for me. I would rather spend on him than spend on Raleigh to kind of compare. We'll get to another bat I really like that I want to spend up on here in a minute, but he's a priority for me. If you can't quite get there, I think there's good options in this 35 to 45 range. I think Matt Olson's interesting again against this Houston bullpen. I agree on O'Hearn against Gordon. And I'm taking shots with Jake Berger, who's really been good against righties, especially in the power department here over the last month. 360 ISO for him. Tong, I think, is solid, but 3 home runs in his last start. So it could be one of those pitchers, racks up a lot of strikeouts, but can be vulnerable to power. So Jake Berger, a good value option tonight.
All right. Second base, Beer.
Couple options here. Ozzie Albies, probably my favorite. You're going to hear a lot of Braves throughout this for me. 3 home runs over the last 8. Really like Luke Keeschel against Brandon Pfaadt, another pitcher that's really been struggling here of late. I think Bryce Terang in that 3-hole tonight against Palente is interesting. And Jazz Chisholm's always in my player pool. So like the Yankees, would probably utilize him more in a stack, but those are the main 4 for me at second.
Cheese, your thoughts there at second?
Of course it's blah.
It's real,
yeah, and Ketel Marte was scratched. Not that he was like a great play, but at least it was another guy. So yeah, I do like Jazz, and he's not going to get played very much. It's really funny the way DraftKings has just decided some guys are just super expensive and some guys are not going to be expensive. Like they're not really. It's almost like they have the same like bias that we have. You're not a pricing algorithm is supposed to not have a bias. It's supposed to come and go. But like, I love Luke Keeschel. I think he's really good, but I don't know why he's 5,200 and like Jordan Alvarez has to be like in the mid 4s.
Or even Altuve at 41 compared with Keishel at 52.
Yeah, and
like
they had weird... for like a long time, they left Altuve at like 5,500 no matter what. And then all of a sudden, like one day, like, nope, 4K. And now he's just there. It's
forever.
Like, anyhow, that's neither here nor there. Jazz is my favorite spend up. I think Bryce Terang is better in a stack, but he's fine. I like Jorge Polanco and Jake Cronenworth for cheaper stuff. That's just kind of it. Like it's,
Okay, let's do third base.
Yes, way better. Third base has been great for like a month. It's kind of back to the good old days when it was like, for several years, it was the strongest position. And it's kind of there again today. I also like that. I think we have kind of chalk-ish with guys that are not necessarily my favorite, like maybe my favorite. I think Machado on the high end and Correa on the low end are the popular plays. I kind of like Jose Ramirez and Royce Lewis better as far as high end and cheaper plays, but like all those guys are very good. Suarez is the other one that I like a lot. He seems like he should be better in a stack, but I'll play him on his own too. Like the other thing about all these third basemen that I just mentioned, it doesn't really matter to me if I'm stacking the team or not. I just like them. So I'm willing to leave third towards the end and just see if I have salary or not. If I have salary, I'll play Ramirez or Machado. And if I don't, I'll play Suarez down to Royce Lewis, down to Correa. I think that's everybody I wanted to mention.
Okay. Beer, some good names there at the top.
Yeah, for sure. Suarez is probably my favorite here as well. I was shocked doing some research the other day. Like it seems like the quietest 45 home runs that you've ever seen. So
I feel like he did that bat a few years ago as well, where he just had a quiet monster year.
Yep, killing it. So
yeah, 49 homer a few years. I think that was 2019, but like and like nobody cared.
Yeah,
dude, the dude can hit.
He can. So against a lefty, he's in play. So I like him. I think Machado's a good play, but if he's going to be that owned, why not save the money, go to Suarez, cut your ownership in half? And I agree, Royce Lewis, my favorite value here. Still waiting for him to get it going, but we know the upside is there. Still under 4K, so I think he's a good value at third.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. That brings us to shortstop, Beer.
Love Ellie tonight. I know that Mr. Cheese loves him some JT Ginn, but in this ballpark, Ellie's the smash for me. And he's down to 5,300. You know, we paid $6,000 for Ellie De La Cruz. So another guy that I'd want to spend, kind of pair him with Kurtz, get a little correlation going in that game. I think Gunnar Henderson, if you can't quite get to Ellie, is in play. And Colson Montgomery, probably I'll say value. He's 4,200 here, but Bibby's given up a home run in 8 of 9 games, so can be vulnerable to power. And Montgomery, I don't think is going to garner a ton of ownership tonight.
Gee, shortstop.
Yeah, I also love Ellie. I have Ginn and Ellie in the same lineup and in a couple spots. Like me liking Ginn does not preclude me liking Ellie. And the problem is, like, it is kind of weak as shortstop goes. Like some of the top guys are not here tonight. Some of them have harder matchups. I'm also very much on Colson Montgomery. I like that against Bibby at mid-tier. If I need cheaper than that, which occasionally I do, Tovar, Brooks Lee, little Gabriel Arias are all in my pool.
Our guy Hammer says, what happened to Cruz's power? 2 homers in 2 months. But he can swipe bags, right? He can do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's not really a power guy. Like like he has power, but he's not a power hitter, and he doesn't need power for DFS relevance. That's really the beauty of him, and that's why I think I don't mind playing him against my pitcher. Guy gets a single, steals 2 bases, stranded on third. I'm just winning all around.
Right? Yeah, that's a win-win. Okay.
Plus that ballpark, Roth. I mean, you could probably hit one out there. So
I have participated in a celebrity home run derby at Little League fence level, and Beer, it was not pretty.
You got skunked. Tell me you hit at least one.
I got 4, but 4, like the fence was like 100 feet away. Like I could have thrown it over the fence.
Roth, were you the celebrity?
Oh, obviously. I was one of. Yeah. You know. The muscles, as it turns out, do not translate to a nice baseball swing. I'm all arms. It's ugly stuff, man.
So you were the Jazz Chisholm of that home run derby.
I don't know what that means. But, oh, yeah, wait. I do know what that means. And yes, I was precisely that. Anyways, we're in the outfield. Cheese, what do we got there?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do love the high end. Judge is my favorite. Buxton is second. But then, Tatis, I think, will be very popular, and he's fine too. But I would rather get up to Judge or Buxton or even Ohtani, even Corbin Carroll at low ownership. I think Ronald Acuna a lot. Like, this is all very newsworthy. Oh, I like the best players. But because I'm going cheap at pitcher, I can get them. I've got 2 expensive outfielders in a lot of my lineups. But I like the mid-tier too. So if you can't go expensive, again, DraftKings and Jordan Alvarez no longer getting along. I think he's too cheap. I love Jackson Merrill. Any of the Yankees, like Trent Grisham at that price, kind of stands out. All the A's, Soderstrom, Butler, Rooker, I like. Matt Wallner, I like. Arozarena and J-Rod, I like. I'm naming a lot of names. There's more. Cheaper.
There's a ton.
Cheaper, I like. I think you can play a Rocky here if you want, like Jordan Beck or Doyle. And I haven't even named like half the guys you can put Jarren Duran in there. You can put Riley Green in there. You can put anyone in there. So while there are things cheaper, like, I don't think I'm doing it. Like, if I'm playing John Kinsey Noel, I'm playing him at first because I just like outfield better. Same thing with like Angel Martinez or Jake McCarthy or Jake Bowers, like JJ Bleday. It's all fine-ish. But to me, I think it's a little too much opportunity cost in the outfield to goof around here.
Okay. Beer, a lot of choices. What are some of your favorites?
I could have wrote down 50 outfielders tonight and felt good about all of them. So narrowed it down to my favorites. Judge, my favorite as well. Again, Giolito can be good, can be really bad. What we do know, he throws a lot of four-seam fastballs, and that is not good against Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton. Both of those guys absolutely hammer that pitch. So I think Yankees, again, were one of my favorite stacks, like both of those guys. Julio Rodriguez against Kikuchi, one of my favorites. I really like Buxton, 6,200. Probably going to make him low owned. So if you're looking for a pivot, I don't know that he'll have a ton of ownership. Could be wrong there, but expensive price on him, but really like spot against Fott. I like all of the Padres outfielders, Tatis, Merrill, Laureano. I like these Rockies guys, Jordan Beck, Brenton Doyle. I think Wyatt Langford could be intriguing as kind of a one-off play from Texas. The Atlanta guys, Profar, Michael Harris. Oakland, or the A's guys, Butler, Soderstrom, TJ Friedel. I could go on and on. Those are some of my favorites there. I could add 30 more to the list. Point is, I think Cheese is right. I think it's a spot where you want to spend up on some of these premium guys. If not, you have a ton of options at every different price point, especially in your stacks. A lot of good 2-3 outfielders from one team, certainly viable tonight. But Stanton and Judge, I think, are probably my 2 favorites.
Okay. Very good. We want to give the people some home run calls. We want to answer their questions as well. First, though, Cheese, Alex says, are you making ribs tonight? I'll stop in.
No, but probably this weekend.
It's a process. How many hours when you're smoking those bad boys?
Minimum 6 hours.
Yep. Oh, man, that's how you know they're good. That's how you know. Are you spritzing them? You open them up, you give them a spritz?
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple different ways I do it, but most of the time I do after the first couple hours, I spritz them about 30 minutes or so.
You need to get in on that. I want to hang out with your horse, and I want to eat your ribs. And
we can eat ribs out at the barn. Yeah.
I'd like to see you and the family as well, but like first,
whatever.
Ribs. Yeah.
How about a live crunch time from Cheese's house?
Well, we're just crushing ribs. That just sounds so good. All right, boys, let's answer some of these questions. Oh, and let's do home run calls first. I want to make sure that people are aware of the very best deal in the industry. It's right here with RotoGrinders. No shock. If you're looking to get some NFL DFS access this season, get more bang for your buck. Go Combo Pro for a limited time. Get your first month of Combo Pro for $79.99. That is only $5 more than if you're just paying for NFL. And you get all the other sports to go along with it. Obviously, you should be doing that. So make sure you are signing up. RotoGrinders Combo Pro. Got a great deal going on right now. How about some home run calls? Beer, what do you got for me?
All right, Roth. I got Jake Berger at plus 450. It's a good price there. I got Ellie De La Cruz on FanDuel at plus 480, which I get it. He hasn't hit a lot of home runs, but in that ballpark, Ginn has struggled massively with left-handed bats, especially the power. So that's probably my favorite. I was surprised to get that price. It's lower on a lot of sites. So if you guys are in agreement with that one, I would grab that while you can over on FanDuel. In the longer shot, I'm going Christian Yelich at plus 675 tonight against Palante.
Very good. Cheese, you got a few names for us as well?
Sure. I'll try to skip all the obvious high-end names.
No Judge allowed.
Yeah, no Judge. We'll do a Eugenio Suarez and Royce Lewis and a little cheaper John Kinsey Noel.
Very good. Cheese Kecky Campbell says Auburn will shock the world and win it all. Caw-caw! War Eagle.
I mean, yeah, cautiously optimistic. We'll find out starting next week, you know.
Okay. Are they good? I have no idea. Are they like top 25?
Well, I mean, yeah, the first 2 weeks we played Baylor and then we played nobody and looked really good, moved up to 24th. But like next week we start playing real teams, so then we'll see what happens.
Okay. Sounds fun. Let's see if you got any questions. Get them on in. We have roughly 15 minutes or so until we hit the lock. New Generation says DKGPP, Cheese, Skubal, Montgomery, Benintendi, or Yamamoto, Ellie, and Merrill.
Yamamoto, Ellie, Merrill.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see if we got anything in the YouTube chat. We do. I'm sure they're hitting the thumbs up and they're typing out some questions as well. Scroll up, see if I missed anything. Is a little sipping on gin and juice viable in DK Cash, Beer?
I'm not as big of a fan as Cheese tonight, but he has shown some upside. I hate it. It's kind of like Coors. You can play pitchers there. It's not ideal. So if you really want to load up on bats, yes, because he does have the upside at that price. I would agree with that. Him and Alcantara, you're going to get access to almost any bat you want. So viable, yes, not my favorite play.
Okay. Beer, we'll go to DePrince, FanDuel, Meadows, or Fry. Who do you prefer?
Fry.
Okay. Beamed says Cheese Ozuna at 3,500 is a steal. It's not a question. It's just a comment. Do you agree with the comment?
He's a totally fine play.
Okay. All right. Cheese Cody says Jaron Duran or Jackson Cheerio. Cheerio, mate.
That's a very close one. Like both of those guys are in that huge group that Beer was mentioning. Like we could name 30 more outfielders and they're all good. I think I'm going to go Duran there, but that's very toss-uppy.
Okay. Let's see. This is a question from Eric asking about the chalk, which almost definitely means these teams are certainly not the chalk, but I'm going to ask it anyways, Beer. Are the A's and Twins the chalk?
No, I think the A's are probably more popular. I don't think the Twins are going to be overly popular.
Okay. Let's see. All right. We got Beam just listing out his whole team.
Yeah,
which we're not really.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
looks good, Beam. Looks good.
There you go. For what it's worth, we're not really supposed to list out entire teams here. That was kind of a rule from a few years ago that maybe still exists.
It's still frowned upon.
It is generally speaking frowned upon. You can ask a 3v3, even a 4v4 if you ask nicely, but entire teams probably not ideal. Keith says, Beer, you want Skubal and Yamamoto with a Texas stack? Is that viable for a DKGPP? And Beamed, he says it's his first day. No worries.
Oh,
man.
you're good, Beamed. You're good. It happens.
Beer, it was Scuball and Yamamoto with a Texas stack. Is that viable in a DK single entry?
I like it. I think Texas is very sneaky tonight. The prices are fair. You know, these guys have some power in those bats. So, yeah, I mean, that would be the stack I would want when you're going double premium pitcher like that. So, yeah, I really like that.
Okay, very good. Cheese coming to you from Unreleased Lo-Fi. 2 lineups on FanDuel for GPPs. I'm thinking Castillo and Ginn. What do you think? Is not having Scuball in one of those 2 lineups dumb?
It's definitely not dumb. Like I kind of ran into the same thing. It's like, I mean, I have more than 2 lineups, so I got to some Scuball, but you can really get whatever you want if you don't play him or Yamamoto. So no, I think I'm okay with that.
Okay. Javier says Wells and Freeman cheese or Teal and Rice. I've got Dodgers and Yankee stacks, please and thank you. Love that kindness.
If you have a Dodgers stack, I think you need Freeman. So I would do Wells and Freeman there.
Okay. Beer, Eric wants to know if Aaron Rodgers is your beast of the week.
No, come on.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, it was a good performance, and you look back, and it's easy to say, you know, who has a bigger chip in their shoulder than Aaron Rodgers? So he did look good. I'll give him that. Everybody wanting to write him off. I think that may be his best game of the season. No, not the beast of the week.
Okay. I got a few more questions coming in the Discord. Beer, let me hit you with a few of these. Here we go. J. Sam says Montgomery or Story is a one-off in a FanDuel GPP.
I like them both, but I like Montgomery a little bit more tonight.
Okay. Beer, right back to you from New Generation. DK GPP, Lawler, Buxton, or Lewis and Soderstrom?
Lewis and Soderstrom.
Okay. Allen's Club. Cheese, a couple questions for you. White Sox 3-man stack, DK single entry.
Yes. The White Sox just in general, like I don't think I even mentioned them in the article today. And yet as I was going throughout the day, I kept finding myself putting a couple in. So yeah, a mini stack, good with that.
Yeah. All right. And then let's see. DK single entry. Cheese. You want Ellie or Judge with an A stack? I could upgrade a bat or 2, of course, if I move down to Ellie.
Play Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's the answer. I mean, you like the correlation. I get it with Ellie, but I think Judge is, if you can afford him, this is a good spot for him.
Beer, let's go to Scott's question. He says, is Jazz, McMahon, Grisham, Belly, all lefties, top plays on FanDuel? So Jazz, McMahon, Grisham, Belly, are those all what you would consider to be top plays on FanDuel?
I like a few of those. Some of those guys we didn't even discuss, so calling them top plays is a bit of a stretch, but I do like this matchup for the Yankees. If you're stacking that part of the lineup, I mean, you're really risking not having Judge or Stanton. You're also making your Yankee stack a lot different than anybody else's. So there's positives and negatives to it, but top plays, I do like Jazz. He's certainly a top play at his position. The rest of those guys are fine. I wouldn't call them top plays.
Okay. Jimmy says, how chunnel caked will Brandon PFAT be? Beer on the chunnel caking level? 10 out of 10, it's a big chunnel cake. 0 out of 10, no chunnel caking at all. How chunnel caked will Brandon Fat be?
He's been bad, and I don't see many signs of him turning it around. So we're going to go to the higher end of that scale and say 9.
Big chunnel caking. Mr. Erlen says, Roth, did you listen to lo-fi music? I did, and it's not for me. I need hi-fi music. I need a little more energy, but I get it. It's all right. Let's see. Cheese, Alex says 4,300 left outfield. DK Cash. I'm rostering Merrill and leaning Laureano as my last piece. Thoughts?
Yeah, there's so many bats there. Yeah, in Cash, I would be more just do the Padre when in doubt today. So yeah, good with that.
Okay. Which Rockies batter, Cheese, do you prefer for over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs.
Now hold on here, Roth. We got damn Nikola Jokic in the chat. It's
Apologies.
a 3-time MVP, and you don't even give him an entry and a hello.
I love your game, sir. I love the passing, the vision.
There's a guy that could beat you in hoops, Roth.
I will give you the nod, Sir Jokic. Thrilled you could join us. It's a very exciting day for us here at RotoGrinders. Please plug us next time you're doing an interview. Which Rockies batter Nikola Jokic would like to know, Cheese? Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
I like that he's just all in on supporting the home team regardless. But it's Hunter Goodman.
Company man.
Yeah. Beamed, by the way, says, thank you guys. We pointed out we don't do the whole list. Everybody was very kind. He says, thank you. This is stressful. I'm hoping we all win. And I'm hoping you win just for that comment, Beamed.
Yeah, Beamed. It gets easier. It's very overwhelming jumping in for the first time, and we're talking about all kinds of things you've probably never heard of. So I promise you, head over to RotoGrinders. You're going to learn a ton. It's a journey. So just take your time, and we're all here to help you.
Yeah, and enjoy it. This is a pretty chill community here. So hopefully you can learn to enjoy the process. Let's see. Cheese, Alcantara or Castillo, DK single entry.
I'm going to go with Sandy.
Okay. J3 says, thanks, RotoGrinders. I hope everyone had a good weekend. The weekend's just starting. And don't forget, Dean is on at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. Thank you. Thank you for that.
That has to be Dean's burner account.
It just has to be.
Or his brother. There's something.
Right.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Now, I'll give this guy credit. I think he pops into every one of my videos and makes a comment how I need to give Dean a shout out. So
agreed.
His persistence, relentless.
Every piece of RG content, J3 is there asking for Dean. It's insane. He's
a fan. Loves Dean. A true fan. I used to take it personally because I would come on the show and he would be like, where's Dean? And I'd be like, oh, I'm the other host. But now I realize this is just universal across RotoGrinders, no matter what.
Every video, Roth. I swear,
get
this
guy
great
out
content,
here,
but can we get Dean a shout out at least?
I love it, man. We appreciate it, J3. And yes, 9:30 Eastern on Sunday, Dean's mom would like you to know that he will be on. So make sure you're
set my alarm now.
Let's see. Thoughts on Yamamoto, Cheese? No.
Yeah, we like Yamamoto a lot on DraftKings.
Okay, great. And then is no one playing the Braves versus a 4K pitcher?
So I've spoke about them. The issue is he's probably going to pitch an inning, then you're going to get a couple more innings, and then what do they do with the bullpen? I doubt they're going to roll out a ton of righties against this team. So I think they're sneaky, but don't forget that 4K pitcher's not going to be around very long.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling down just a little bit. J3 has a Dean tattoo.
I want to see it. That I want to see. We got to prove that J3 is not Dean. This is the old Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. We need some proof here.
And right there, I'm doing Roth, my hands backwards, but I'm pretty sure his Discord name is We Want Dean.
It is, yes. I think if he actually has a tattoo of Dean, we need to figure out how to get him free RotoGrinders forever. I think that
for life.
Yeah.
J3, if you're here and you hear that, we might be able to make that work.
Yeah.
But he has to prove that he's not Dean somehow.
That's true. Yes.
Or Dean's family or immediate friend group, something. You got to be just totally random and just for some reason you love Dean.
I mean, for good reason, we all.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it like that. It's just I've never quite seen this kind of level of fanboy before. So
nor have I. Blink 182 says, "Cheese, I've got a gut feeling about Martin Perez, so I'm using him in the one lineup I'm running in a DK large field tournament. Will I be cursing the screen by 8 p.m. or can he get it done?"
I mean, Martin Perez can always be fine. I think it's a silly slate to use him. I can't endorse it. But he can always be fine. He knows what he's doing in real life.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of silly tonight.
Okay. Cheese, FanDuel. Who would you prioritize in a 3-man Seattle stack out of Randy and Julio? He's already got Suarez and Cal. So you need one of Randy or Julio to make that 3-man.
Yeah, to me, that's every day that you're stacking Seattle, that is the hardest, most random decision. Like there is no answer to that question. Like if you want a correct answer, there is not one, period. Like they're essentially the same guy with almost an identical skill set. I will say I have a little more Randy, but like they're the same person playing for the same team with the same skill set.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling down. It is Perez's birthday, for what it's worth. I think.
See, no one told me that.
Yeah.
Well, and then he said probably not, but giving that guy hope.
Oh,
so is it his birthday or is he just wish casting?
Yeah, I didn't read the rest of the question. That's my bad.
He said is Perez B-Day. He didn't even say yes. He's just saying things. I hope it is. Yeah.
It
does not matter.
I don't think it matters.
Born on April 4th, so no, but
not even very close. All right.
No. All right.
Yep. Let's see. We are less than 2 minutes until lock. We have answered all the questions. What are the dinner plans? Beer, you know what you're doing yet?
The wife ordered some pizza, so that you can hear the dog probably upstairs going crazy. So good timing on her part. So we're gonna lay low. Kids are all out at high school football games tonight. Have a little pizza and Netflix and chill. You know
that sounds well. I don't need too much information, Beer.
I'm just talking about watching a streaming service and eating some pizza. That's all.
What's the pizza order here? Are we going like chain pizza or you got a local spot? What are you doing?
Local spot, and she absolutely loves not the super Chicago style deep dish, but we have Detroit style here, which is kind of spread across the country. So a little thicker deep dish. So good stuff.
Okay, very nice. Cheese, you got dinner plans?
I actually think we're doing pizza as well. And we're just doing Netflix and actually eat pizza.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
same here.
Choice.
Same here.
Right.
I'm
that's what you
just
said.
throwing around the lingo of the young folk here. Netflix and chill, but the OGs are hanging out and eating pizza and laying low.
That sounds pretty good. I have not had dinner plans yet. I don't know what we have currently, so we may end up doing some pizza as well. You gentlemen may have inspired me. With that, we're coming up on the lock, so we're going to bounce out of here. If you could hit the thumbs up on your way out, it would be greatly appreciated. Always fun hanging out with you guys. For Beer, for Cheese, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crunched.